Hi guys, my name is Loewe. Welcome back to my channel where I discuss all things luxury and contemporary handbags. It is already the last video of 2025, at least for me. And what would be a better way to round off the year than to partake in what is probably the biggest handbag video collab of 2025, namely the Handbag Awards. So we're doing this video with 13 different creators. I'm not going to mention all of them, but they will of course be linked down below with all of their respective videos. I do want to do a big shout out to Deandra from Fashion Without Limitations for putting this all together, as well as a shout out to Didi Bean helping in the logistics, getting all of the names and the pictures of everybody's channel together. That already helps a lot because for everybody these times are busy around the holidays, right? So let's get started. What we're going to do today is that we're going to go through 9 different categories, which are of course related to 2025. And for each category, I am going to select a winner. Now, the first category for the Handbag Awards is MVP, Most Valuable Player, or I guess Most Valuable Purse in our collection for 2025. And the one I've selected is perhaps not the one I have paid the most for. I couldn't be bothered to look it up, but I'm pretty sure it is the most valuable one that I have right now. And it is my Fendi Peekaboo in the medium size. Now, I'm not going to say a lot about this bag because I feel like it's been showing up in all of my videos recently. It's been getting a lot of airtime, not a lot of wear time yet. I do hope I will be wearing this bag a lot more in 2026. Then next up, we have Summer Jam, favorite handbag for the summer of 2025. And for this category, I've selected my Wandler Penelope in the big size in this gorgeous butter yellow. Butter yellow was all of the vibe this year. I think it will be continuing into the next year. I certainly hope so. Overall, I've really liked this bag. It is a bit more squishy than the smaller size or the regular size of this bag, and it fits plenty. I enjoy the color. I got it for a great price. So although it's not really a year-round bag for me, I am happy to have it in my collection. Then we are moving on to the third category, which is most complimented bag. I wasn't really sure if I should be looking into like the real world for compliments or also like online compliments I get from all of you guys, either on YouTube or on Instagram. I do feel like generally I get a lot of compliments about my bags because you are all just very nice. But the bag I ended up going with is my Chloe Marcie in the medium size in the tan color. Also a bag that I recently showed you in my videos of oldest and newest handbags, because this is the first designer bag that I ever got. Although I never feel like a lot of people have this bag, I do always get compliments. And in terms of owning this bag, there is one big exception, and that's also the reason why I ended up picking this bag for this category. And that is that Liz from Nothing But Bags, who is also part of this collaboration video, ended up buying a Chloe Marcie bag this year. And that was partially because she was influenced by me. So if we may say that imitation is the highest form of flattery, then I think that this bag definitely deserved to have this year's most complimented bag award. Then the next category up is related yet not quite the same. It is the fan favorite of 2025, so the bag that is most loved by your YouTube viewers this year. And for that, I decided to have a look at my videos and how they performed over the last year and which sort of review video had the most views. And what it turned out to be is the video for my Loewe Hammock bag. I find it quite interesting to see because also this is a style that I don't see a lot of people have in their collection or carrying. It is probably one of my favorite designs in my handbag collection, but one very big problem with this bag is how open it is. So it's also very easy for people to reach inside of your bag. So in a lot of places, I'm just not very comfortable wearing it. Nevertheless, beautiful bag. I'm very happy that I got it when I got it. So when Loewe still had decent discounts, even on fairly standard bags in their collection, and when it was still at a bit more of a reasonable price. I don't wear it very often, but it is one of the favorites in my collection, so it is not going anywhere. Then the next category is best cost per wear. And I have to say this one was both the easiest as well as the hardest, I suppose, because I was not gifted one but even two bags this year from Seyclair. And evidently, if you are getting a bag for free and you are wearing it, by definition, you are going to have amazing cost per wear, because it is going to be zero. So I had a look at which of the two bags that I got I actually wore the most. And the one I wore the most is the Natasha bag. It's this really beautiful, slouchy, squishy, soft hobo. Although I'm always on heavy rotation with my bags, this one I still ended up wearing quite a bunch because it's just a very easy carry. It's just super comfortable to wear whether you're carrying a lot or not so much. It also fits a laptop, so I've taken this to work on several occasions. I've worn it to a conference, I've worn it out to lunch with my friends. I wore it for like a whole week straight because I wanted to review this bag when I first got it. So I've definitely had a lot of enjoyment out of this bag. And like, I feel so fortunate that it didn't even cost me anything. Then the sixth category we are discussing is best comeback. So the bag that was neglected for a while and that is now in constant rotation, or that you fell back in love with this year. So a bit of a long explanation, but fortunately it is a bit broader because there's not a lot of bags that are in constant rotation within my collection in any case, and it doesn't happen generally, I would say, after I have fallen out of love with those bags. But one that was neglected for a while and that I think I really started to enjoy again in the past year was my Balenciaga Hourglass bag. This one and also my Balenciaga City Neo were neglected for quite some time because we all know what happened with Balenciaga, even though by now it is already quite some time ago. And of course, Demna has moved on as creative director. He's now with Gucci. Although I know that a lot of people still feel either torn about wearing their Balenciaga bags, or for them it's just a very big no-no still. Like, I can appreciate everybody's opinions and feelings and thoughts about this. For me, I've purchased my Balenciaga bags with a reason, and that is that I just really like the design that they have. I think the Balenciaga leather is gorgeous. My Hourglass bag has this pebbled leather, which I think is quite uncommon for the Hourglass bags because they usually come in a smooth leather or in a mock croc, and they also have like denim variations and that kind of thing. But this is one that I've never really seen before or afterwards anymore. And I've really started just enjoying this more, also just wearing it when we're going on walks, on errands. Yes, it is perhaps a bit edgy, but that's also exactly the reason why I like it so much. And that's why I think why this one should be the best comeback bag of 2025. Then next up we have the category of best purchase, and this may come as a bit of a surprise because I don't really think I've talked about this bag all that much, but of course I'm going to explain why I selected it. And what I picked is my Coach Soho bag in the dark denim. And this one is from last year's denim collection, but I ended up only purchasing it this year because living in the Netherlands, well, first of all, I'm already like horribly late to the game when it comes to Coach. We always have to wait for quite some time anyway before collections come to the Netherlands. And then, of course, I also wanted to get it on sale. So yeah, I waited for a solid amount of time before I eventually got this bag. And I wasn't really expecting to purchase it either. I already got the denim Cassie, like in a lighter denim, which is also a really great bag. But the reason I ended up selecting this is also because I hadn't expected that I would like and enjoy it so much. It is a shoulder style bag. You can detach the strap and put a longer one on that, although I always feel like it looks a bit weird with this shape. Like, I feel it's really meant to be a shoulder bag. But why I think it's such a good buy is because, first of all, it wasn't that expensive getting it on sale. I don't recall exactly what I paid, but I must have gotten at least like 50 or 60% discount, because that's sort of the threshold that I maintain when getting Coach bags. But it's just such an easy, comfortable carry. Like, it's lightweight, it's dark, so I don't have to worry too much about it. It's not super big, but it can hold a decent amount of stuff. So it's really nice just running for errands. It sits so comfortably on the shoulder. And even though it's denim, I find that because it's dark denim, I end up reaching for it outside of spring and summer, which I typically don't do with my lighter denim bags. And I'll get back to that again in a second. But overall, this was a really great buy, and I would like to argue the best buy I've done handbag wise in 2025 in terms of price and usage, and simply because I've been pleasantly surprised by this handbag. Then for the second to last category, we're going to take a step away from handbags, because this category is your SLG love or your favorite SLG of 2025. And of course, it could only be one for me, and that is the Seyclair Melody card holder. It is actually in the same color as the Natasha bag, but of course it had to be my favorite, and it will probably be my favorite for forever and ever, because this card holder was named after me. So that was a massive honor, but luckily it's also simply a great product. It's a very flexible card holder, but I think it's sort of the perfect balance where it's like not too stiff, so it's not difficult to get your cards in and out, yet it's also not so flexible that stuff will start falling out on itself. And I've been using this card holder for some time now. It's just a really great entry piece if you want to give Seyclair a try and experience like the beautiful soft smooshy leather that you also have on the Natasha bag. And then the final category, we are already coming towards the end of the video, and that is one hit wonder. So the bag you only wore once and never again in 2025. And I think there are a couple of bags that I've worn only once and never again in 2025. So perhaps I would have to do a separate video on that, do a bit of a tally again of which bags I wore and which bags I didn't wear all that much. But there was one bag specifically that came to mind, and it is again another Coach bag. I think this is the Coach Willow bucket bag. I'm sure everybody knows the Coach Willow styles, and I am not big on bucket bags, but when I saw this one, and of course, again, it was on sale and it had a great price, I was really kind of sold on it. I really like the style. Like, it is somewhat structured, but also still kind of squishy. Like, I'm curious to see how this bag would be wearing over time, because now it also looks a bit dented, but it looks better when it has stuff in it. But I bought this at sort of the end of the summer, and like I was already saying, I don't really reach for light denim bags once we hit fall, winter. So for me, they're really spring, summer bags. So I kind of got this too late in the season. I ended up wearing it only once, and then I basically decided to just put it in storage until I'm going to wear it again next year. So for upcoming spring and summer, I think it's still going to be a very nice bag. It has quite a long shoulder strap, which is also adjustable. I think this is also a fairly new model, but again, I am always late to the Coach game, living where I live, so don't necessarily trust me on that. But solid first impression. I look forward to wearing it next spring and summer. So this one is not yet going on the chopping block. I really have to see how it goes when I have the opportunity to wear this one a little bit longer. And that brings me to the end of the Bag Awards. Thanks again so much to Deandra for putting us all together, and all of my collaborators. Again, everybody will be linked down below. Go check out their videos, like and subscribe, because I think we would all be very happy if we can enter the new year with a somewhat higher subscriber count. And with that, I am going to wrap up the video. Not gonna get too sentimental, but it's been quite a tough year for me. I'm really looking forward to leaving it behind and move on to 2026. I hope that all of you have an amazing New Year's Eve, and that you are entering the new year joyfully, in health, and with plenty of handbags to admire and aspire. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back again next weekend, of course, with fashion news. Hope to see you there, and bye for now, guys. Doei!